It's hard not to profile people, especially when you're the member at a health club or a gym in the new year, because all of those New Year's resolution people just crawl out of the woodwork, and they don't know what they're doing, they don't know where they're going. They're wandering around, they're walking through other people's workout routines, they're leaving weights around, they're showing up in clothes that must be 10 years old because they're ill-fitting and they're completely out of style. And I even noticed one guy wearing a weightlifting belt. And a weightlifting belt, it might be okay if you're at Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, but we're not in Venice Beach. We're at the East Bank Club. Welcome to Sunday Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith, and each week at Sunday Coffee Hour we talk about everything and nothing. This week we talked about how not everything can be healed or cured. We talked about the difference between a transaction and an interaction, and about inadvertently inviting your plumber for the holidays. The readings this Sunday were from Numbers, May the Lord bless you and keep you, and from Galatians, we're born under the law, yet we're a child of God and also an heir. The gospel was about the naming of Jesus. The sermon at Washington National Cathedral was from Gene Robinson, and it was about names and about how names matter. Gene shared a story of that when he was born, the doctors informed his father that his mother was surely going to die in childbirth, and that he would most certainly be dead. And they quickly needed a name for the death certificate. Gene's father and mother had been expecting a girl, so Gene's father hastily wrote down the name Vicky Jean Robinson. And Gene did survive and went through his life and continues to go through his life with the name Vicky Jean Robinson. And he shared with us some of the challenges and problematic aspects of growing up in the South as Vicky Jean. But as much as he didn't like the name, as he continued on his life journey, he embraced it and claimed it as his own, as part of who he was. And he said that in many ways the story is about just that. It's about people being called by their name and living into the dignity of their name and moving in the story of their life from indignity to dignity. At St. James Cathedral, the sermon was also about names, and Lisa James shared the Jesus prayer, which is a very simple prayer consisting of Jesus, have mercy for me. Then Lisa led us in a breathing exercise where we simply were asked to breathe in and breathe out while we meditated on the prayer, Jesus, have mercy on me. This was a terrific exercise, and I especially appreciated it at the start of the new year. I was reminded of the practice of the Christian Science and the symbol of the Christian Science Church, which is the cross and the crown. And when I asked my Christian Science friends about the meaning of the symbol, they said, well, it's because wherever there is suffering in the world, there is also the crown of mercy, and it's part of the healing, is welcoming the mercy into our lives and into the healing process. I I know a number of people who still practice Christian Science, and it's a lovely community at the 17th Church of Christ Scientists. I also know some people who passed away this year who were seeking either no medical attention or alternative practices of healing. And it's really yet to be seen and be said what is considered a a healing, a healing. Perhaps they did experience healing as mercy in their lives. I know it was a blessing for me to know that, and I'm thankful for it. In all this, we do see that there oftentimes is a prejudice against healing in alternative forms. But at the end of the year, we did see a flurry of people uh, passing on. We saw Barbara Walters, the former Pope Benedict, and Vivienne Westwood. And I was especially intrigued by British fashion designer Vivienne Westwood, because as I looked into her and added to what I already knew about her, she is the quintessential countercultural icon. And I was intrigued by the very notion of countercultural, especially in our time, which, it's really hard pressed to find anybody or any voice that is countercultural. Everything's been co-opted. We used to hear at church that the church presented themselves as being countercultural, counter to the materialism and financial success of the world, the ways of the world. But more and more, the church just is a mouthpiece for NPR radio. And that doesn't seem very countercultural at all. In all this activity of being co-opted, I think we can see that we kind of find isolation because where's the community in being amongst people who all agree the same thing? It can be completely dehumanizing. A couple of weeks ago, I shared the Brene Brown sermon at National, which was just about that very topic, the idea that isolation leads to dehumanization. A number of years ago, John Best gave a sermon about demon possessed. And he said that in scripture in the Bible, we hear about people being demon possessed or filled with an evil spirit. But in our time, which was then 10 years ago, he said, we don't talk about demon possessed or being filled with the evil spirit. We label people as toxic. And just like in Bible times, we want to get away from those toxic people. And I don't think we refer to people as demon filled or demon possessed or toxic anymore. We simply refer to them or consider them anybody and everybody we disagree with, or a Republican, or both. The concept of evolution sometimes is a disservice to us because evolution sometimes gets conflated with the idea of progress. But many of us believe that we're actually maybe de-evolving as a species. Evolution means changing and adapting to a new situation, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's better. People who believe that we're devolving use technology as evidence of that we need technology and pharmaceuticals in order to cope because we just can't make it on our own. Jesus said that we can do all that he did and more. We can heal ourselves and accomplish great things, but where is all that? Yes, we do have social unrest at the East Bank Club, but we will get these people up to speed in no time. And why is that? It's because we're in communion with these people, the people we don't like. That's a kind of healing. We all need to be open to all forms of healing and mercy. Someone shared recently at coffee hour that she was having difficulty moving from dignity to indignity due to social profiling and identities which she finds disempowering and not helpful to her movement. And it's interfered with her opportunity to see and avail herself of opportunities which actually would maybe take her to the next level of opportunity. None of us want to be the geek at the health club, but we've all been there. But please get it together soon, because if you don't, you're likely to be co-opted. And there's nothing more countercultural than that. If you would like to join us at Sunday Coffee Hour is every Sunday at 12 noon Central Time on Zoom. I will include my email in the description of this video. I'll be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.